Hello, good afternoon. It's Thursday, March 19th, 2026. I'm just going to recap the Joseph Duggar situation. Just give it a few minutes for people to come in. Let me check my sound over on my iPad. There's been mic issues and YouTube issues. Hey, Kellyanne. I'm going to just do a sound check here. No buzzing? Welcome in. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the red hearts. No buzzing. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm going to try to keep this video to a minimum. I know I always say that and it goes longer than I intend, but I actually have some real work to handle today. And it's getting kind of late in the day here. Well, probably not as late as where you are. So let's just give the room a little bit of time. You know, it was so amazing last night. There weren't a whole lot of people that came in for the live, but all through the night, I had like 2,500 people watch this video, which was really cool. That's not a lot for like a professional YouTuber, but for me, it's those are good numbers. So I was like, oh wow, a lot of people came in on the replay. Yeah, and I wonder if we're going to have the chat issues again, or I can't see any of the messages. I can see your messages. There's two. I'm going to type in a test message on the iPad. Oh, thanks for watching, or you said you're going to start watching the replays. That helps me a lot because I'm getting closer and closer. I actually, numbers wise, as far as hours watched, or hours viewed, I had a good day yesterday. Hi, Thega. Am I pronouncing that right, Thega? Thega 3G. Oh, 9 people in the room. Hopefully YouTube is soon going to work out their issues and I'm going to be able to see all the messages in the chat without having to sit at my computer. Kinda, it's okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, 11 people in the room. I'm April Davis PI. I'm here in Los Angeles, California, and it is Thursday, March the 19th, 2026. I did my video last night on a different subject. Instead of talking about the Nancy Guthrie story, it was kind of a slow news day in that respect. But then I heard the shocking news about Josh Duggar. I'm doing okay. And when I went on the air and after I went off the air, there had not even been a record of him being in the system in Washington County, Arkansas. But then later in the evening, here we go. I have part of this covered up because I don't want to show, there's a home address listed, and I don't want to show that for his family security. And then the bottom of the page, it won't format right for the printer or for the computer because it's a website page. So it basically says at the bottom that he's being held so that he can be transferred to another agency. So they haven't listed any of the charges online. He has been arrested and he has been booked, and there is a booking number. He is in the system. It says age 31, race white, sex male, eyes blue, hair brown. He's 5'9". Then his weight, it got cut off. So, and I don't have OBS, or I do have OBS, but I don't know how to work it yet for live streams. So this is definitely him. I have to say, let me go to last night's video. I got all kinds of people saying, how come you're shocked? This is the Duggars. You should know better. And it's not that, I guess I shouldn't have said, oh, I can't believe it. I'm so shocked. I think the truth is, I didn't want to believe it. Joseph, he's supposed to be one of the good Duggars. He's not like Josh, who's arrogant and smug and, I'm so smart and I can do no wrong and I can get accused of a crime and I can blame a coworker or even one of my own brothers. Joseph is not like this. He's supposed to be the nice one, and he runs the family business now, and he's supposed to have a good heart. And, he even funded or provided a free home. He's also involved in the home building business with one of his brothers, and he runs the family real estate business that was started by the grandmother. He basically gifted a free house to Kendra's father. I believe his name is Paul Caldwell. Yeah, it's just it's not that I don't believe it. It's that I should have reworded it. I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe that this continues on in that family, and now there's going to be more victims. Kathy, I just heard he has been extradited. Do you know if that's true? Well, according to the printout that I have from the sheriff's department, he's still in, but there is a date on there that says at the bottom when it says he's going to be transferred, it says 3/20 at 7:45. So I wonder if they're like going to expedite this process and transfer him out to Bay County, Florida. He was actually arrested by, is it called Town? The police department in Arkansas. I have heard that when the father found out about this on the 17th, he confronted him and he allegedly, everything is alleged here. Hi, Rita. He allegedly admitted it to Mr. Caldwell that he did in fact do this, and allegedly admitted to the police detectives in Arkansas that he did it. But this is all just things that are being reported in the news and on the internet and by YouTubers. None of this is confirmed until we actually have a court case and we actually have a copy of the arrest warrant. And that has not come out yet. And so, once again, look at that. That just, that breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart. It breaks my heart if this is true. It breaks my heart for the 9-year-old girl who is now 14. And somebody commented on my video last night, like, oh, give him a break. He was just a minor. Well, no, apparently he was like 25 years old when he did this. And he, when he reportedly, allegedly did this. And he would go to Panama City Beach, Florida with his wife's family. So it would be her parents, his wife, his kids, and her 8 other siblings. Apparently, they have 4 kids. I've heard 3, 4, and 6. But today, I guess somebody close to the family verified it to another YouTuber that he actually has 4 children. I think he's been married since around 2016, and they already have 4 kids. There's also a report, and none of this can be verified, that the victim, the alleged victim, may have been a younger sister of his wife. That's just, it would be awful to be anybody but a younger sister of his own wife. And he was completely trusted, unlike Josh and Jim Bob, who apparently doesn't really have a relationship with the Caldwells anymore. It's sad because it'll break up his family. It'll, his wife, his children, the victim, her siblings, all of these people are going to suffer if this is true. Hi, Kathy. I just saw a video. He had an extradition hearing at 7:45 via Zoom. Yes, I followed them back then. I also heard this. I just saw on the sheriff's printout, but it's on the bottom page, which won't print out no matter how I adjust it because it's a web page. I can't get the bottom of the page to print out. It says March 20th at 7:45. So, oh, hey, Melissa from Australia. Good day, mate. My Aussie accent's not so great. Hey, Jay, almost 5 kids in 10 years. that is not many based on the Duggars. Like, yeah, I know, really. That's true. Now, there's also some other not so nice news about this. There is a rumor. It's all rumored. This is all alleged. I'll repeat that. Everything is alleged. Everybody here is innocent until proven guilty. But there is a very strong rumor that there's another Duggar brother that's somehow involved or connected to this situation. And it may be something as simple as another brother was aware of it and didn't turn him in. Your siblings don't have the same protections as your spouses when it comes to the law. So if there was another Duggar brother who was made aware of this at some point and he didn't turn it over to the police, he could potentially be charged with a crime as well. Oh, okay, Kathy, you've also heard this last night. Yeah, I just heard about it on YouTube. A lot of people were saying that. And that the victim, who was 9 at the time, is allegedly his wife's sister. And somebody actually named her, but I'm not going to say the name because I don't know. Why are men seeing kids as sex objects? Do you think it's porn? I don't know. I think it has something to do with their very strict upbringing from the IBLP, which is the Institute in Basic Life Principles. I think they're a very messed up family. Oh, I didn't even see that, Jay. You just, same words. Sounds like the Duggar boys might be pretty messed up. And here's what I'm hearing. Several people messaged me last night about this, and I briefly remember this. They have a cousin, Amy, and I like Amy Duggar. I think her last name is King now. Apparently she's written a book, and apparently when she was a child, she wasn't allowed to be around Grandpa Duggar, and that would be Jim Bob's father. Apparently he may have done some sketch things in his life. You heard it was her younger sister also, says Kathy. Hi, Jane. I've also heard that these boys have basically been trained that you buy people off, you bribe them. Apparently the Duggar parents allegedly always, were bringing gifts to people and making cookies and delivering them at different venues like the police station. I don't know if any of that is the case, but the boys are raised that you buy your way out of trouble, that nobody's guilty, nobody's done anything. Hi, Rival Clips. And I just don't think that's the right way to live, especially when you find out that your own son, your eldest, has been involved in alleged abuse of 4 sisters. You would think that when the victims are your own kids, you would side with your daughters. And there are police reports from the past that say that, 4 of the Duggar girls were involved, and I know Jessa and Jill are 2 of them, and apparently Ginger, and it might be, is it Joanna or Joy? They've never, that's never been, I know that Jill and Jessa have claimed it, but I think the others have kept quiet. Kathy says, I do believe the Caldwell family may change their way of thinking on divorce. I was going to bring that up. Apparently their religion is against divorce. Now, I've heard that they are Baptist. Is that true? Are they not members of the IBLP? The Caldwells? I know that Mr. Caldwell was a pastor, and something happened to his church, and they lost their home, and his wife was pregnant, and Joseph Duggar gave them a free house. Now, was this after his alleged crimes, allegedly against the younger sister of his wife, Kendra? And this is bad because even though he's sitting in the Washington County Jail right now in Arkansas, the charges are not going to be filed there. The charges are going to be filed in Bay County, Florida. And in Florida, they are very, very strict on SA crimes, as most states are not, and they should be. Apparently in Florida, something like this, which may have just involved touching, you could get 25 years to life, a minimum of 25 years. And, kudos to the state of Florida. I think if other states would crack down on this type of crime, on all types of crimes, there would be less offenders. At least I'd like to think so, that it would be a deterrent. Like, oh, if I do this, this could happen. Do you think they belong to a cult? Who, the Duggars or the Caldwells? The Duggars, yes. Yes. But it's really sad, like with the Josh situation, that they weren't there to be supportive to their own daughters. And Joshy got sent with the church on a mission to build a barn, and that was his rehab. And that had been kept quiet. Had TLC known that even existed, they would have never got a contract to do their reality TV series. Melissa Wintle says yes. In regards to, do they belong to a cult? I think so. Let me go over to last night's video. Like, I can't believe, like, when I ended the live last night, it showed only a few hundred had come in, and I'm like, oh wow, those numbers are really bad. And then through the night, the numbers just started to increase fairly quickly. Kathy says, I do believe he is a Baptist preacher. Southern Baptists do not believe in divorce. That's true. Those are all true. He may be facing life. Very much kudos to Florida. As a lifelong detective, my entire adult life, I totally agree with that. Melissa says, we had issues in Australia as well. Scout leaders have ruined the scouts. Yes, absolutely. I had something like 45 comments, and I wouldn't, go through them all, because you guys can just go to last night's video and read these. But someone said, I think maybe these men were SA'd themselves. It's absolutely not an excuse, and they deserve all the prison time they will get. But it could explain why they are all doing this. Whatever the case, this is so disgusting and heartbreaking. Yeah, that's why last night I kept saying, oh my God, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Every state should be this tough, says Kathy. I agree. Another person said, what's going on with those Duggar boys? Something really disturbing is wrong with them. I think this goes deeper than what we all know. I think things went very wrong in these boys' childhood. I think it's more than just being members of the IBLP, and they're not allowed to date without a chaperone. They're not allowed to hug unless you do a little side hug. You're not allowed to hold hands or kiss. That's just not normal, especially when you're at the age when the hormones are changing, and boys are discovering girls and girls are discovering boys. It's just not normal to raise kids like that. But this is not something that is involving him being a minor. This is something involving Joseph being a grown man who was already married with children. And if he is this particular way, and this is found to be true, and he's found guilty, you have to wonder how many other potential victims are out there. This person just read my mind. Deanna, she commented, there will be more to come out. This is so disgusting. Everybody's using this word disgusting, so many. Anyone that would harm a child in that way is an evil deviant. Yes, and people like that, I'll tell you from my experience as a detective, people like that, they can't rehabilitate. Remember Jeffrey Dahmer when he was in prison and he was interviewed like on 2020? And he truthfully said, like, if they ever let me out, I'll probably do it again. Yeah, but he'll never get out. He's dead. They only had a warrant out of Florida. It came because of Arkansas. Arkansas will be done after extradition. Yes, that's true. One person says, if a religion makes everything forbidden, a child can develop an attraction to the forbidden itself. In adulthood, when many of those original forbidden acts become acceptable, they can spiral into depravity because ordinary sexuality doesn't provide them the same thrill. This is why things like this are, and unfortunately, it says, are unfortunately common in the most stringent religious settings, regardless of the religion. I don't trust stares. They're always up to something. What does that mean? One lady says, I strongly believe, I don't know if it's is it? Oh, there's her avatar. It's a lady. I strongly believe that Christians should abstain from intercourse until marriage. However, from what I've heard, the Duggar cult goes way beyond that. No hugging, kissing, and women are not equal. Yeah, especially their own daughters. Their own daughters, allegedly, 4 of them. And I think there was 1 or 2 other victims that have never been disclosed. And Amy Duggar says it's not her. But there are police reports regarding that. And those were like hidden. Like either that or the background investigators at TLC don't know how to do a background investigation before they, award somebody a multi-million-dollar contract. It says Jim Bob's father had some serious issues. I know Amy Duggar could never be left alone with her grandfather, but Amy Duggar's, the Duggar cousins' new book, or by Amy Duggar's new book, Prayers for the Victim and Her Family. I agree. And then this comment, I hadn't heard this at all. Now we know why he and Kendra are divorcing. I hadn't heard that they were divorcing. I mean, didn't this all just come out yesterday? Why is this unbelievable? This is the culture. The only thing that is surprising is that he got caught and he's been arrested. Like I said, I know I kept saying I don't believe this, but I truthfully should have just said, I don't want to believe this. And if I'm missing anybody's comments, it could be because YouTube has had problems the last few weeks with the comments. So if you think I'm ignoring you, I'm not. I'm just not able to see your comment unless I go to my desk. And I'm going to check my chat again. Oh, hey, Brenda. How you doing? Yeah, we're talking about a very sensitive subject here. I had a video I did last night, and it's about Joseph, excuse me. It's about Joseph Duggar. And we're just I'm following up on that. And I don't know if you heard the part that YouTube's having huge problems, so sometimes I can't see the comments if I don't respond to you. It's because I can't see it. Kathy says, I'm a very strong Christian, but there has to be a happy medium. One was a babysitter. Oh, I heard that too, regarding one of the other victims. I haven't heard of divorce yet. Either have I. Here's an interesting one on the comments of last night's video. I'm curious if the Bates family cult has had similar issues. Their IBLP cult teachings are guaranteed to create predators and victims with severe arrested development issues. Possibly. Online chatter is that the victim is the wife's little sister. And I've heard the name, but I'm not going to name anybody. I'm not going to shout out addresses or names of potential victims, especially minors. Why can't they get caught before they have 50? It says 11 kids. I don't know what that means, 11. That can also be abused. When parents have that many kids, there's a chance of something being off or unthinkable happening, like sister wives. There are 2 or 3 of the girls that are gay or lesbian so far. Jim Bob and Michelle know where this behavior sickness came from. I don't watch Sister Wives, so are they referring to the sisters or to some of the daughters? I'm not sure about that. I know that's like a very good show apparently, but I don't watch the Sister Wives regarding the Mormons. And I've got nothing against Mormons. One of my favorite YouTubers is a Mormon family in Eagle River, Alaska. So I have nothing against the Mormon religion, but yeah, they don't accept LGBTQ at all, which is not right. Well, we know it wasn't Josh and Anna's kids. In regards to what? How do we know that Josh and Anna's kids haven't been abused by Josh? Jay says, my husband being a minister and I believe divorce only in adultery and abuse. Marriage must be entered into very carefully. Yes. I'm not married yet. And if I ever do get married, I never plan on being divorced, especially at my age. But the older you get and the longer you're single, the more independent you are. And I know a lot of women my age that are exactly like me, business owners, type A personalities, and we all date, you know, but the older you get, the more important your own privacy is. Kathy Mowry, they seem to be a better grade of the IBLP. I watch all of them. Gil Bates is not uptight on most of their religious convictions. Oh, do you mean like the Bates version of the IBLP? They seem to be a better grade. You mean the Bates family? I've not watched. Didn't they get a show too? Because I used to see them on the Duggar show on 19 Kids and Counting. Okay, yes. Now this is a dig. Somebody wrote, "Where have you been?" And then space that you were shocked. Space shocked. This is a Duggar fan channel. No, I'm not a Duggar fan channel. And I replied, and I told the truth. I said, nope, this is an everything channel. Basically, though, mostly about my life since cancer, which is true. That's why I started this. And then somebody responded to her and said, I was shocked too. I'm no fan either. But Joseph was always portrayed as one of the good ones. Yes, who's less patriarchal and gross. One PDF in a family is a yuck, but I didn't assume there would be more. I didn't want to ever think that there would be more. Now, this person is a little off. I don't know the whole story, and I do not know the Duggar family. I have a real problem with throwing him in jail and put him in jail for just touching a girl, especially if he was underage. He was 25. He will be labeled a sex criminal the rest of his life, even if he did not do it. I don't know what age he was when this happened. Well, he was 25. That's what I'm hearing. I said 25, 26, but another fan responded he was 25. It happened in 2020. It's 2026 now, and he's 31. They lost their show due to the kids that were immature. Who, the Bates or the Duggars? I've been reading a little bit about that, Melissa. You need to start investigating the missing general. Yeah, I heard today that there was a coworker of hers or his, and that she's missing too, under suspicious circumstances. That's really scary, but that's not uncommon with the government. Yeah, so I mean, these comments, they can just go on and on and on. The iPad's only showing me a few of them. Okay, here we go. So if that's one of Kendra's siblings, why the heck wait until now to report it? Well, I don't think they knew about it. Why wait until now to have them arrested? Once again, I don't think the father knew about it until the 17th of March of this year. It is because rumors surfaced again about any of the Duggar children, more specifically Joseph, getting divorced. I have not heard that rumor. Why not report it as soon as it happened? Well, I'm sure that the 9-year-old girl didn't talk about it right away. How did anyone in Kendra's family or the family of the 9-year-old, if not a member of Kendra's family, not seeing it happening, let alone doing anything to stop it? Kids don't like to talk about these things. And I responded, I've heard that the girl's father confronted Joseph yesterday. And allegedly, if it's true that it was a sibling of Kendra's, that would be Father Paul Caldwell. But we don't have any proof that the sibling that they're referring to is the actual alleged, I'm going to say that again, alleged victim. And then this Liz Ann replies too. The girl may have just now told them what happened. Exactly. Like, apparently it just recently came out. Now somebody's rambling about Nike. I don't know what that's about. When parents have that many kids, there's a chance of something being off or unthinkable happening. Okay, we already said that. It's replaying some of the comments. Yeah, and then Cousin Amy talked about not being allowed with her grandfather. I mean, I could go on all day long. You guys can go to the video and read the comments. Apparently there's like 45 comments, 88 thumbs up. Speaking of thumbs up, Smash that like button if you haven't already done so. I appreciate it. She was 9 years old. She was probably scared. I'm surprised at that age that now that she's 14 that she can even remember this because it hasn't been blocked out of her mind. Usually those things come back when people are grown-ups. So if this guy was doing stuff like that while he was an adult and he knew better, and he was always bashing, he was so disappointed in Josh. He was, like I said, he was supposed to be one of the good guys. He's not smug and arrogant. He's the complete opposite of Josh. So, that's why it's like, how the heck is this happening? Yes, I do have my chat set on live. And I have to keep changing it back and forth because I can't see all my messages. Melissa says Trump was going to release info on UAPs. That's what I'm hearing. Jay says family hides a lot. Yeah, I can't see everything unless I go to the computer. And I've talked to other YouTubers. This has been a problem the last few weeks with the chat not showing up, or people type in a response in the chat and it disappears as you're typing it. So if I'm not seeing all the responses, you guys are probably seeing more than I'm seeing. I'm sorry. Oh, hi, Boston Bill. How you doing, friend? Yeah, I'm just doing a follow-up to last night's video, and I wanted to, show this. Yeah, that was, that didn't show up on the website until late last night, but there's Joseph Duggar. And I can't show his name because his home address is right under. I can give you his detainee ID is 124754. But Washington County, and they have not charged him with anything because he's in the process of being transferred to another agency. Hi, Crystal Moon. I just wonder what other Duggar boy will be arrested next. I'm not really shocked. Yeah, I kept saying that last night, but it was more that I don't want to believe it. It's not like I can't believe it. I mean, I'm a detective of 42 years. I've seen it all. But I just don't want this to happen. Apparently, he did not resist extradition. That's what I'm hearing, but I just checked in on him before the show, and it says that he's still in there. And then it says no charges pending transfer or whatever the wording is, and that there's a date of March 20th at 7:45. So something is going to happen tomorrow morning at 7:45. Someone earlier in this chat mentioned that there was going to be an extradition hearing by Zoom. That's very possible. Courts do that more often these days after the pandemic. I've been to court several times since my disability and my mostly 99% retirement, and it happens all the time now. Zoom sessions in court. It's just going to be a matter of time as to when someone from Bay County is going to come pick him up, because I know that Washington County, Arkansas, they're not going to spend the funds to transfer someone to another jurisdiction. That's going to be on Bay County. Like I said, I hope I'm not missing any of your messages. It's just that I probably can't see them all. So this is just, it's sad, and it's really devastating if it is the wife's younger sister, as is being reported. Remember, everybody here on my channel is innocent until proven guilty by a court of law. Everything that we have heard is alleged. But what's true is that he is incarcerated at the moment in a county jail in Arkansas. That is true. And I kept waiting all night. I kept typing them in every few minutes, and it finally popped up into the system. Apparently, they're a few hours behind at least with updating the system, which I understand, especially if it's later in the day when all this went down. But unlike, Joshy, the brother, who's like, I didn't do it, my employee did it, and then when the cops were able to prove that the employee didn't do it, then he tried to allegedly throw his own brothers under the bus. Yeah, he's that evil, Josh. That was today. If you look at the Washington County Sheriff's Department, look at the bottom of the page. Something is supposed to happen tomorrow, March 20th at 7:45. Not that anything didn't happen today, but there is a date on there if something is going to happen tomorrow regarding his case. And I don't think he would be making a court appearance in Arkansas because he hasn't been charged in Arkansas. Do you think the media has now gone soft on child SA? No one is outraged anymore. Well, I don't know about that. I know the people that are watching my videos, they're outraged. I can't see all this new iPad just kind of, I don't like the way things are showing. Like they're not showing the 60 some, almost 70 comments. And I don't need to just sit here and read them all day. You guys can go watch the video and read the comments, but either way, no matter who the victim is, it's horrid. It's awful if it's true. I don't have the words. I don't like the way those people raise their children. I mean, I guess if you have 19 kids, you can have one bad seed in the whole bunch. But now this has come up. Remember years ago when I think it was Jana, the one that always had to take care of all the kids. She got like a citation or something by the cops because one of the children she was watching wandered out of the residence and was found on a highway. That was like a toddler or something. But I think they handled that. Melissa, we have a father of a very famous actress has allegations of SA to a little girl. Oh, you mean in Australia? Kathy, I agree. With Jim Bob, anything is possible. Oh, very famous Australian actress. Is she somebody we would know here in the United States? Or is it somebody famous in Australia? Wow. Yeah, I'm probably not seeing all the comments because they're not coming in very fast. I probably have to go to my computer and just have to. I'm waiting for YouTube to fix this. Oh yes, definitely Hollywood. Oh boy. I got a few names, but I won't say it here. So this actress's father has been involved in SA of his children. Is that what you're saying? Or SA of the actress or SA of others? So many people are involved in this. Do you think they'll get a divorce? And I hate to call her stupid, but is Kendra as stupid as Josh's wife, Anna? That she stays with him and she goes down to that prison to see little Joshy. And she'll never divorce him. And I don't know what's going to happen when in 2032, if his date doesn't continually get pushed back because he's a bad boy behind bars, when he gets out someday, if he even survives prison, some of his children, at least one, possibly two, may still be minors. And he's not going to be able to have any contact with minor children. Certainly wouldn't be able to live under the same roof with them. What is he going to do? What's Anna going to do when, her husband comes home from prison and she's still got underage children in the house? What is she going to do? Just kick the kids to the curb? And say, oh, well, daddy's coming home and you're out. I think one of those kids was born after he was already incarcerated. Involved with powerful people, says Melissa. Yeah, Jim Bob is rich enough to take care of them all. Yeah, and they always, since this happened with Josh, they were transferring a lot of things into other people's names. And I wonder if she's living off the welfare system. Because apparently now she's in the puppy breeding business. Makes me sick. Exactly. You mean Joseph? He will not survive prison. He won't be in federal prison. That's true. He's going to if he is found guilty in a court of law, he will go to the state penitentiary in Florida. And everywhere in every state, S offenders don't do well. I mean, look what happened to Jeffrey Dahmer. And he self-admitted on live television that, or not live television, but recorded, I think it was 2020, that if he were ever to be let out, he would probably offend again. They found that college student in Spain water. Boston Bill, yeah, you would be familiar with the system with being a bounty hunter. Inmates will hand out their own punishment. And I'm not against that. He's going to get a whooping. Is that what they call it in the South? A whooping? A whooping? What word am I trying to say? Old people and children are the rules inside. Boston Bill says, me either. It's going to be pretty brutal. Why has Josh survived all this time? Maybe because he's in a federal prison? And if it's true that it's Kendra's little sister, then that girl would legally be, even though she is a minor, she would be a sister-in-law. Protective custody. Yeah, I know they do have protective custody. I know for like celebrities here in LA, they have to be in protective custody, or they have a special unit just for the prisoners, at least in the men's jail here in LA, which I've had to do some cases at, not recently, but years ago. And I hate going in there and that door slamming behind me, like, oh my God. And the LGBTQ community, they have a separate floor for them. Jay says, agree, Boston Bill. All inmates are given the opportunity to go in OC if they choose to. OC? I know when they're separated like that, it's like 23 hours in a 24-hour day. You meant PC. Oh, protective custody? Okay, I just said that right when you typed it. Okay, yeah. I didn't get that OC reference. I'm like, But you know, YouTube is hard. Sometimes my words don't come out right, or I can't remember something, but that could just be my age and all the chemo and the radiation and the surgeries that I've had. Like, sometimes the words get stuck now. Yeah. But can you imagine, like, they call it being in the hole or something, when you have to be separated and you're in there for like 23 hours a day and you're there for like 25 years or life? Oh, no problem. It's impossible for me to type on these little screens if you're watching on your phone. Jay says, I'd be fine in protective custody. Just give me lots of books. Oh, I would lose my mind, but I wouldn't sleep at night if I was incarcerated and there was all these other people around me, and you have to use a toilet that's like not even like private. There's all these people watching you. Like I'd like literally 22-hour lockdown in PC. That would be hell on earth. Everybody keep their nose clean. And then, you know, I've done cases in the jail. I don't like to go anywhere near it. And I've known some of the criminals that are in custody. And when they come out, like if they don't get transferred to state prison here, by the time they come out, they're all sick. They have everything from pneumonia to strep throat to worse. Like a lot of them have to be hospitalized for months and months and months and months after they come out because they're so sick. Yeah, not your goal, Jane. Not mine either. I'm a crime fighter. I could never be a criminal. Put a towel over your lap. Oh, God. Still, I'm like, I can't even go in the hospital when the door is closed and there's a nurse like on the other side of the door because they're scared you're going to fall. And I'm like, turn on the water. Like, I know you're standing right there. I can't do it if you're standing there. I can't pee you with somebody in the room. Just, because someone will like, oh, I don't want you to fall. I don't want you to. I'm like, I'm not going to fall. But just close the door. And they're like, but don't lock the door. Okay, turn on the water. I can't hear you. You're listening to see if I fall. Like, Kathy, I lost my husband in April of 2024. I had a really hard time. I'm doing better now, but it's called adjustment disorder. Yeah, I lost somebody, and not anybody as close as a spouse, but I lost somebody in October 2022, and I've not gotten over it. And this month it's their birthday on the 28th, and it's my birthday 15 days later on April 12th. And those are going to be the two hardest days of the year, other than the day they died to get through. Kermudge, hello, April, hugs from us. Been moving back into the cabin all week. Almost done. Oh, I hope you have a video. I want to see Kermudge. I love that little cabin. And apparently you have different plans for the house now, Kermudge. And has there been a video on that? Like, because I know you were going to have it disassembled or torn down and save the materials to build other things on the land. But are you somehow going to be able to fix the base of the house or the foundation so that it doesn't crumble in the next earthquake? I'd love to hear about that. Oh, you did not do a video. Because I was like, did I miss something? I did not do a video as it has been taking forever. Yes, we will fix it. Well, that's nice. But in the meantime, you'll have, the cabin fixed up too. Do you have a view from the cabin of Denali like you have from the house? Kathy says, but being in seclusion could cause this disorder. Yes. Yeah, this video, Kermudge, is regarding the Joseph Duggar case. I don't know if you're the type of guy that follows 19 kids and counting, but Joseph Duggar has been incarcerated in the state of Arkansas waiting extradition to Florida. And it's just horribly sad because everybody thought he was one of the good Duggars and nothing like Joshua Duggar. Kermudge says, however, we will stay living in the cabin as we bought the property because of this cabin. The house was a bonus. Yes, we have a better view of Denali here. What, in the cabin? Than in the house? And Denali, are you facing the north? Your birthday is April 18th. Mine is the 12th. Oh, okay, great, Kermudge. I appreciate that. I just, it's not like I can look at Google Maps and see the place. I like to be able to picture everything in my mind and how everything is set up. Denali is north and west of us. Okay. Kathy says, but who knows, considering it is a Duggar. It's about 45 miles away. Wow. Ah. My life is totally, I live in a city where the county is over 12 million people, and we have more people in LA County than most states' entire populations. I don't have a brother. Mine is April 12th, and my friend that passed away, hers was March 28th. And we always celebrated together for both birthdays every year since we knew each other. Kathy says, I lost my husband at 21 years on the 17th. I'm so sorry. The 17th of this month? Did I miss something? Remember, I'm not, and if you are familiar with this curmudge, I am doing vertical lives, and lately it's been really hard to get all the comments to show up on either the iPad or the cell phone. And I don't want to switch to horizontal because they won't bring people into my to my live stream. But if I go to my desktop and I watch the chat behind this chat, there's more comments that are coming up. Yeah, you have to keep switching from live to top. Yes, that is a something to do a vertical live. But are you having problems in the vertical lives seeing the chat? Just asking because Curmudge, he's actually a professional YouTuber, unlike myself. I'm getting there. I'm getting closer, Curmudge, to being able to reapply. I'm getting much closer. But I got to have people watching the replays, playing the videos in the background. I hope you're doing so while you're doing construction or renovations on the cabin. And then just to think, if I can get there again, which I never thought I would, I still won't have a dime from it because all the views that I got to get there, they won't count for anything. And I'm hoping that they return the money that was already in the account pending, because you have to hit 100 before they'll pay you. I'm sure that's not a situation for you. You probably get a check every month. Yes, chat is hard on the verts. That is why when I do them, I have a computer going so I can see the chats. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to do that, but I have to go over to my my desktop. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Where are you coming in from? Are you new here, Kathy? If you are new, I hope you are subscribed, and I hope that everybody here has that bell icon clicked so they get notified whenever I go live or whenever I post a video. And I heard something yesterday that I had not even really thought about before, that even if you click the bell icon, but you don't have notifications turned on in your app for YouTube, that you won't get those notifications. So like in the iPhone, you just go to settings and then you go to apps and then you scroll down to YouTube and make sure that the notifications are turned on. And I do just fine. Yeah, I kind of suck. It's kind of, since my friend passed in 2022, it was easier for me to show my face because she was a professional model, actress, and professional broadcaster. And I thought, boy, if she was watching my videos, she'd just laugh me right off my sofa, And now that she's gone and I have, shown my face and I don't care what people think of me, she would be so proud. But yeah, it's going to be hard. March 28th, everybody. I know that means nothing to you guys, but it means the world to me. I met this friend during the time that I was still suffering from cancer, but I was on the road to recovery. And I had finished my chemo and my surgery. Then we met, and I found out I was going to have to continue with at least 6 weeks of radiation. And that was really, really hard. And my new friend kind of kept me going because by then the pandemic had hit. COVID pandemic had hit and everybody was in lockdown. Now, I had never experienced the lockdown because I had to leave my house every day, and when I was doing chemo every week, and then the pandemic hit the week of the surgery. And then by the time it was, time for radiation, everybody was in quarantine, but I had to get out and go. And, I lost most of my rides because everybody was secluded and I had to drive myself to those appointments every day. And somehow that friend helped me get through it. I have you on notifications. I caught you online last night. Subscribed and started researching the story. Oh, thank you, Kathy. please feel free to check out all my playlists. Brenda, hey everybody, don't you just love April Davis PI? Oh, she's so sweet. She doesn't give up. She just keeps going after it all of her life. Love you. Let's support her. I love you too, Brenda, so much. I wish you and Randy didn't live so far away. And I'd love to be able to meet Brian too. He seems like a really nice person. Oh, you're so sweet, Curmudge. If you don't know who that is, Brenda, you should watch my friends Curmudge in Alaska. They're just true blue, honest people. Rob and Sarah. I consider them personal friends. It means a lot to me. There's so many fake people out there, like Jim Bob Duggar. Let's get back to what we were talking about. I have been hearing that, these kids, especially the boys, were raised to cover their tracks and to bribe people, to pay people off, to, bring cookies down to the police station at Christmas time, or because that's how you get yourself out of trouble. You don't admit it, like allegedly Joseph supposedly didn't deny any of this week on the 17th. You hide it. Even when your own daughters have been the victims of SA and the babysitter and one other person possibly that we don't know the identity, and Amy Duggar, the cousin, says it's not her, but yet you continue to cover the rear ends of your boys that have committed felonies. Well, allegedly for Joseph. We don't know that he's guilty yet. We only know that Josh is a convicted felon and a convicted S offender. Kathy Mallory, I will definitely do that. You have the experience to be able to handle true crime videos. I've seen it all in my detective career. I'm very interested in what my friend here from Australia mentioned earlier about a famous actress, because it may have been somebody I've actually worked for without naming names. A famous actress in Australia whose father is he now in trouble? If that person from Australia is still here in the chat, and hopefully I can't see all the messages unless they sit at the computer. Now that will work, Curmudge, on a laptop, because I have an old laptop. In fact, my Tyson, I could almost have cried. He was talking about my birthday a few weeks ago, and he was telling me about this new iMac computer it's called the Neo or something, and he was like, "Yeah, I could buy you one for your birthday." And I was like, "Oh, your mother said she was going to buy me one of those years ago." I'm still waiting. But I said, "Don't do it, because I don't want you to spend any money whatsoever on me. But if he feels the need to do so, I'd rather see the money or a gift card." And he goes, "Hey, how about some lottery tickets?" And I was like, "Great," because I never buy those for myself. But yeah, I turned down an offer for a free iMac because I don't like to take things from people. But and speaking of money issues on this channel, I have already passed the 3,000 hour subscriber mark, or not subscriber, but I have 2,000 subscribers. Well, more than 2,000 now, like 2,150, I think, because the ticker just went off during this live. But they should be sending me any day the ability to reapply for the partial monetization. And that doesn't help a lot, but it allows channel memberships, and it allows super chats, super stickers, super thanks, but they take 40% of that. So when I got that the last time I was briefly monetized, it didn't really make a bit of a difference. I think I got maybe 2 or 3 like super chats. But then it was only like maybe a month or so later that I made the next tier up and I hit the 4,000. And I see that in the back end, it's called YouTube Studio. It says that I can reapply at 4,000 watch hours. And if you remember, Curmudge, we talked about that I shouldn't have deleted my videos and I should have set them to private. But I have since read that if there's a video that they have a problem with, that it should be deleted. But I'm still sad because some of the videos I think were okay. I really miss the one that I did about the aliens in Las Vegas. And for some reason, I just really like that video, and it's gone. Kathy says, in November, I bought a brand new desktop and laptop. They are both gaming computers. Wow, that's very nice. Yeah, I don't do online gaming. Just been too busy working my whole life. And I know the person that offered to buy the new iMac Neo. I don't think he watches my videos. But now I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should have taken that. Now that I know that I'm having a YouTube issue and that, maybe 40 to 50% of the chats are not coming through on my end. And people are like, well, just switch to horizontal. And I can't. And if I tried it, they're like, well, you can still do it from your computer and you can set it to vertical, but not really because it won't film the same way. And a webcam is not going to be the same as an iPhone cam. So this is what's bringing in my viewers, is me talking about something that I actually know about. This is what I've done my whole life. I mean, I have my hobbies too, my reselling, my gold prospecting. I used to metal detect the beaches and stand out in the ocean with the dolphins. I totally miss that. And I'm just okay at all those things. But I'm really good at being a detective. I've had it my whole life, even when I was a child. I just had the built-in spidey senses. Did you do the paperwork to get that first part? Yeah, they haven't offered it to me yet, Kermudge. And it's been like 2 days now because I'm up to like 3,100 watch hours, and they should, after 3,000, they should send me the offer, but it's not in my YouTube studio. And you can't contact anybody as far as the chat or the helpline, the help reps. You can't contact them if you're not monetized. Yeah, I wouldn't add it on the computer. I mean, not on a laptop. You have to go into the monetization section. Yeah, I do. And I'm wondering, could it be because since they demonetized me, that's not going to be an option now? Because there is a little thing at the bottom that says you must have 1,000 subscribers, which I have more than double that, and you must have 4,000 watch hours. But that it doesn't. This will, qualify you to reapply. But there's nothing in there that says that I can apply for the partial monetization at 3,000, which, but I've also read that, well, it can take several days for YouTube to catch up to that. But nowhere on my YouTube studio on the monetization tab does it say that. I know, and I'm wondering if it's because I've been penalized. Yeah, it's not there. It's not an option. And it's been so long since I applied the first time, I don't remember how that happened. But I remember I did it, and I was so excited. And I only got like 2 or 3 super chats, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't working. And so then I just kept doing more videos and more videos and more videos. And then my subscriber count jumped and my views jumped. And I was able to, very shortly after I got that partial, to get the full monetization with the AdSense. That is true. The numbers can be off. Look under the earn section. I will. In fact, I can do it right now on the iPad. I don't know if I can. Oh, here's the earn section. Yeah, it's right here. Showing data as of March 14th, because they're 5 days behind. 3,105 valid public watch hours. That's what I need. And then there's a reapply button, but it doesn't light up yet. I can't touch that. Yeah. And it displays differently here on the iPad than it does on the computer or on the iPhone, because on the computer and iPhone, it's like it'll show 1,000 subs, and my blue bar is all the way to the end because I've already met that. And now I've met the partial, but there's nothing on this page. And I've tried to contact everybody at YouTube, and then they say, well, leave a comment and feedback and someone will get back to you. No, I'm not monetized. They won't get back to me. But then I've read that it takes several days, and I just can't remember that far back with everything medically that has happened to my body. I can't remember, like, how many days it took. I think there was a bit of a wait even when I hit 4,000 before they're like, oh yeah, you hit 4,000 and now boom, hit reapply. And there's no guarantee, Kermudge, that I'm going to get it. I'm kind of, I don't want to be negative, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself and be like all excited and then it doesn't happen, because then I just don't know what I'm going to do. You know, I've had, I think a week ago, I had 4 $1 donations and I had a $5 donation, and that person with the $5 donation did not want to be shouted out, so I have not identified that person. Then I received another $5 donation this week from the same person. That's it. So this month I've had $14. And that won't even cover the cost of replacing the mics. And one of the new ones is already having problems. Kathy says, I feel sorry for Kendra's firstborn. Her first name is the same as Joe's middle name. That would be Joseph Duggar, I believe. So I do know something about the Duggars. I don't know how many kids. Well, I don't know the name of her kids, though. Yesterday it was 3, then it was 4, then it was 6, and now it's down to 4 again. And remember, I'll say it again until I'm blue in the face. Everybody here that we report on is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Garrett, yeah, thought so. Here we go. Joseph Garrett Duggar. This is the only thing that we can prove, is that he is incarcerated at the moment in Washington County, Arkansas jail. Hopefully soon to be extradited to Bay County, Florida. This is just, yes, she did. She did, because I checked her out yesterday, and then today she retracted that. And she actually has sources that are within Arkansas that know the Duggars, and that she retracted that statement today and said that it was 4. Because I had seen 3, then I had seen 4, then she said 6. She retracted that today. And she's, she knows much more about this family than I do. Although I did watch the show 19 Kids and Counting. But the last 7-8 years of my life has been a train wreck, with cancer and then cancer side effects that kind of crept up in 2023. So I've just been fighting to stay alive. So I don't follow the story as closely as she does. LB was at Josh's trial. I don't know who that is. I know that Anna fully supports him, and she visits him down in Seagoville, apparently, in Texas. And I think she's still going to have 1 or 2 minor children by the time he may possibly get out. And he's not going to be allowed to be around any minor children. So, what is she going to do? Kick the kids to the curb? Here, go. I mean, seriously. I believe the woman is capable that she would kick her own children to the curb so that she can be, with Joshy. And remember, Jim Bob, he never stood up for his daughters who were allegedly abused by their own brother. Oh, no problem, Kermudge. Yeah, I thought about you, that maybe I could ask you about some of this, because it's been like 2 days now that I went over the 3,000 mark, and I haven't even got the offer for the partial monetization. And maybe because I was a bad girl and they're not going to offer me that the second time. But I've heard that it doesn't matter, that like if you're reapplying to YouTube, that you can get the partial at 3,000 if you're approved. Oh, thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the smiley faces. And once again, the chat's been so messed up that I'm not seeing all the comments. So I do have an older laptop that maybe I can hook up. And maybe that'll help me if I put the laptop up, but I'm looking at the iPad, I'm looking at the chat, and I suffer from vertigo. So I know when I sat at the desk a couple times and I'm like going between this and the iPad and the desktop, it was making me dizzy. My love of crafts. Hey, April, I caught a live. Yay. Yeah, I'm kind of towards the end of it, but you can always stay in until we're done and watch the replay. In fact, I beg everybody here, watch every replay you can watch. And I know I'm getting a lot of replay watchers or viewers on the live streams, but I have a ton. I mean, hundreds of videos that are my long form content, Please just go to the video tab. Oh, thank you. She says I will replay for sure. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot because it is making a difference. In fact, my main mod, Kelly, she sent me a text the other day and she's like, is it true that me rewatching all this is not helping? And I was like, no, I never said that. It's totally helping. In fact, even if a miracle happens and I can apply again for monetization, I'm still going to need people to watch because they're not going to pay me for these 4,000 watch hours. They're just not. And I've been getting 50, 60,000 views every 28 days. And I'm not getting paid for any of that. So even when they go, congratulations, you have passed all the tests and we are going to remonetize you, it's like starting from zero all over again. And I've got thousands of dollars into this channel. And I need new mics. I need a new desktop mic. I need the Rode Wi-Fi mic. I also want a Rode desktop mic. I probably need a new laptop. I need some more cameras. Every time I get the GoPros, they just don't work out for me. That reminds me, maybe I should list all that GoPro equipment on eBay, but I don't think I'm going to get much for it. Yes, I do make shorts, but shorts won't qualify me. The views of the shorts won't qualify me to reapply unless I get 10 million views in under 90 days. Shorts help with pushing people to other videos. Especially I put one up about my cat and the production was terrible. I just did it in 2 minutes. I was going to show you her, but the bunny's over. She's doing a puppy roll. Cat's not here right now. She's in my bed, but I did a short with my kitty Kelsa, and I almost didn't put it up, and I almost took it down, but now people are loving it. It's pretty funny. It just, it was a spur of the moment. I just had to get her on camera. I did the same thing with Alfie, and when I started YouTube, and that wasn't even for YouTube, I looked through my phone and I took out an old poor quality, poorly produced video that I just did for myself, and I put it up to start my YouTube, and I got 60,000 views or something. Yes, Kermudge, GoPro has gone downhill bad. I now use Insta360 cameras instead. That's, there's a lady I watch up in Eagle River, Alaska, and she's on a 4-month trip right now in the lower 48, and I know they've switched to Insta360s. Do you have to wait to be monetized to have a join button? I'm not sure how that works. I don't do anything to grow mine. It's just videos I like to make. Apparently, if I can reapply at the 3,000 mark without the AdSense, it will give me the opportunity for people to become channel members. I know last time I was monetized, I only had one. And I think it was $2.99 a month or something. That was it. Before they take their, 40%. But supposedly, they're supposed to send me the offer to be able to get the super chat, super thanks, super sticker tab back. Because some people have come in and asked for it, and they're like, where's your cash button? And I'm like, huh? One guy was like, he was so irritated. And I'm like, oh, just go to my main channel page and go to my links. And, you can send a donation that way. He's like, no, I want your cash button. And I'm like, what? And then after I got off the air, I was like, oh, I know what he meant, like the super chat button. But I won't be able to get that back. And I thought I could get it back at 3,000, but they haven't sent me the offer yet for that. It's like maybe they're penalizing me, or maybe it hasn't been enough days, because it's been only about 48 hours that I've had that I hit past the 3,000 mark. But I have to get to the 4,000 mark to be paid the AdSense for the views. And that's where the money is in YouTube. I would start with a new camera. I have a ring light I can send you. It's brand new. Oh my, I don't want to blind you guys, but this is broken. See the shipping tape? It's all taped together. And my other bunny, who, by the way, I have tons of videos on, a blue Kinsley, who sadly, unlike my other bunnies, a blue Kinsley lived a very short life. A blue Kinsley, look, I can literally see wires sticking out. This is going to die at any moment. I can see where the plastic has melted. If I touch it right now, I'll probably get electrocuted. I can never have this plugged in. Even when it's off, I can't plug it in when I'm not home, because my place could burn down. Yeah, they take 40% of super chats and super stickers. And they take a big chunk, I think 45? Is it 45% or 55% of your AdSense revenue? Yeah, they're not doing this for free. But I'd still like to have the ability to get those. But it's been cool that in the last 2 weeks, I think, I've got $14 in donations from Venmo and Cash App. I was going to say PayPal, but no. And nobody needs to donate. How you guys can help me is to view the videos. And if you'd like to give me a message in private, you can send it to my email at aprildavispi@gmail.com. And if you want to send something that's physical, you can go to the business address that's on the main channel page. It's there with all my links, and I usually put it in every video. I'll have to add the chat to this since this was a live stream. But eventually, I should have the availability for memberships, for donations, as far as the Super Chat, Super Thanks. Maybe we could start a Super Chat, Super Thanks train, Maybe we could have a celebration, but I'll have to have a laptop so I can see everybody's comments. Maybe, if I get remonetized, we'll have a party, like a live stream party. Kermudge, yeah, I am going to start having folks use Cash App and other apps like that instead of Super Chats. I do not like seeing subs send cash like that, and we see so little of it. Yeah, I've noticed lately a lot of the bigger YouTubers, and they're definitely monetized, but you don't see the thanks button because they have taken it down, and they either put Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. Oh, thank you. I just don't want people to think I'm begging for money. But, I said, I think a few videos ago, if, somebody sent me a check for $5 or $6 grand, I would just be paying myself back for all the channel expenses that I've had, because I started this December 2020. So my chemo was done, my surgery was done, and I had 3 that were cancer related, 2 port surgeries and a mastectomy. And then after the radiation was done, and then after I had to start a 5-year pill, which was brutal. I just got off of it October 1st of last year. That's when I thought, I didn't know I was going to survive this. And I did it. And I really suck. Yeah, that sounds like the way to go. PayPal, Cash App, then you get to keep it all. But some people insist that they have that button. They called it the cash button. And I was like, what? It's actually called the thanks button. And it's weird. I've also seen lately when I'm watching big YouTubers that have that, if the person is a member, then they can send like an even number, like $5 or $10 or $20 or $50 or $100. But if it's someone who's a non-member and you try to send 5 or 10 or 25, 50, 100, it's like $4.99, $9.99, $24.99, $49.99. And I could never figure that out. Like, hey, I'm trying to send this person, because I send quite a few like $5 super thanks. And I'm like, how come everybody else is sending 5 and mine only says $4.99? Well, that's because I'm not a channel member. So when that YouTuber is live and they're seeing those things come in, if it's 0.99, that's a non-member. But if it's an even number, then that's a member. I never knew that. I started this because of cancer. Yes. Well, I started this not because of cancer, but because of breast cancer survival. It was about my survival. And I just wanted to document my life. Not that anybody will, care when I'm gone and, want to watch these videos, but I did it for me. And I never meant to be monetized. And then it happened. It shocked me. And then they nailed me for something and wouldn't tell me which video. And then I deleted too many of the videos. So that's how I lost my watch hours, because I wasn't sure. And I'm like, well, I don't think I can privatize them. I think I have to take them down. But I didn't know which ones. So I just kind of went through it and just went delete. And then all of a sudden I had less than 1,000 hours. And I'm like, oh my God, because I'm only like suspended for 90 days. And as long as I have my subs and my hours, I can reapply immediately and I would have been accepted. But not if they saw something that they didn't like before. So I just was like trigger happy, like a video game, like a joystick, just, and my watch hours just flushed right down the toilet. And it's been very hard to get them back, because then YouTube was like, oh, you're a bad girl, and we're not going to promote your videos. We're not going to push them into the algorithm. And some of the best videos I have are my long form content, and nobody's watching those. So I'm like, should I even do those anymore? You know how long those take to make and to edit and to upload and go through all the BS? I can be up at 4 a.m. still trying to get the video out that I did in the morning. Like it's a time suck. So that's where I'm at. And Curmudge, if you could look into this for me, or ask people, since you know so many professional YouTubers, and you probably even met a few that got demonetized and had to reapply, am I going to get the offer from YouTube to do the partial monetization? And, last night's video, only a couple hundred people came in, but by morning, I had like 2,500 viewers. And for me, that's big. And the watch hours they were shooting up. Now, I'll get those 5 days later, but if I could have the amount of watch hours that I earned yesterday that are, 5 days behind in posting, I could get the 4,000 mark in a matter of, I could get there in less than a week from like right now. Wouldn't that be something if I could do that by my birthday? It takes forever to edit videos. I've been stuck in the 800s for years, but it's okay. Keep going. I mean, I never thought I'd make it to 1,000. The majority never make it to 1,000 subs. And for the ones that do, to even get a penny from monetization, that's like the 1%. And I did it. But now I got to do it again. And how many can do that? To say, I did it once and then I did it twice. But then, those views that I've been accumulating, like every 28 days, I'm getting 50, 60,000 views. That is not going to mean anything. They're not going to say, congratulations, and now we're going to pay you. We're going to back pay you for all this. So it'll be like starting all over again. And you might make, $2 or $3 a video, and they don't pay you. They pay you a month behind, and you have to have at least $100 in the account. So when they shut me down the first time and said, okay, you're temporarily suspended, they stole that money. And some people had just put in several super chats. And it must have been like maybe 30, 40, 50 bucks worth and of like views and chats, donations. And they just went, we're taking that too. Those people usually have a play button. YouTube has 115 million YouTubers. That's true. I said that the other day, And somebody argued that with me and said, oh, most of them are dead. And I'm like, what? Jay says, hubby 25 short of 7,000 on TikTok. Wow. I have a TikTok account, but I never post there. I have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Occasionally I'll post, on Facebook. Yep, active users. That's what I try to tell them, but, there's always one knucklehead in the crowd. Why didn't you do this? Or you should be doing this. And I'm like, and you don't have to say essay. You can just say the words. And I'm like, no, I can't. I'm in the process very soon of hopefully reapplying for monetization. And I can't say those words. Yes, exactly. And Google tells me, because I've already looked it up, Rob, that I should be able to be sent an offer for the members tab and the super thanks tab at 3,000 as long as I have at least 500 subs. Well, I've got 4 times that amount of subs. I rarely sign in either. I'm not a TikToker. So I'm putting all my eggs in one basket right now. I'm just losing my mind, like my hair is falling out, trying to get back up to where I was. Jay says I never watched TikTok. So everybody, keep watching those videos. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're smacking the like button. Please make sure that in your cell phone, when you go to your settings and you go to your apps, that you scroll down to YouTube. It'll be way at the bottom because it starts with a Y. And that you have activated receiving notifications. Because apparently, even if you hit the all on the bell, it won't work if it's not turned on in your app to be able to accept notifications. And once that is accepted, make sure you hit the bell and hit all, and then you should get notified. I only sign in when I get a notification from a close friend. Thank you. My love of craft says, I will start playing your videos in the morning while cleaning. You just keep them on loop. And YouTube, they're very behind in calculating the hours and then making sure that everything processes correctly. A lot of YouTubers complain about that, like, my numbers are all messed up this week. And then the chats are all messed up if you're not on a laptop or a desktop. So how many people are like, you know what, I don't like that girl because she's ignoring me. Well, I just can't see you. If I see you, I'm going to shout you out. Now, I know with the big YouTubers, sometimes, a big person who's really good at this, like Kermudge, his chat's going so fast he can't possibly see all the messages. That's when you know you've been successful, that the chat's flying by so fast that you can't even read it all. Well, everybody, I just want to say let's still pray for Nancy Guthrie, even though this video was about Joseph Duggar. Let's pray for the alleged victim of Joseph Duggar and her family. Let's pray that justice is served in this case. Once again, everyone here is innocent until proven guilty. Every view counts. Oh, you saw the notification today, Jay. That's good. Hey, Dawn. Sonny's wheelhouse. Wonder what happened now that it was discovered. We will see. Pray for Nancy. I've just developed a deep, deep love for that woman. Thank you for your update video. You're welcome. I pray for Savannah too. I don't even know her, and I just want to give her a hug. I still think her son-in-law was involved. You know, the sheriff, who I'm not a big fan of, swears up and down that they were cleared and that they passed polygraphs, but there is no passing a polygraph. You're either deceptive or they can't really tell. But there's no like pass fail. I'm very familiar with how it works because of what I do for a living. And I'm not a licensed polygrapher, but I used to work for one, so there is no pass fail. I know, Boston Bill. It's so crazy to me they have no idea what's going on. Yeah, the word is conclusive. It's either it's either you're deceptive or you're inconclusive. So when people say, "Oh, well, the FBI said I passed," or the sheriff says, "Well, they passed," nobody passes. You're either deceptive or it's inconclusive. It is an investigative tool. And I tell all the PIs that have ever worked for me or all the trainees that I've come across that when you use the databases, online databases, they're only a tool. They're an investigative tool. They're not the Bible. Same with the polygraph. And remember, all these people that are connected, all the shady characters through the 6 degrees of separation. Well, these people are much more closely connected than the 6 degrees of separation. But once again, no one has been charged with anything and nobody's been found guilty. Kellyanne says, I also believe the son-in-law is involved. Yes, that's what I'm hearing, Kathy. The little girl's dad called Town Police. You know, how do you pronounce that? Does anybody know how to pronounce that? Let me look this up. That's bothering me that I should have researched this ahead of time. I looked up the town. It's near Springdale, where the cult is based out of, meaning the Duggar cult. Oh, Tontitown. Tonti, Tontitown, Arkansas. Tontitown, okay. Or is it Tontitown? Yeah, the house that he's got, which I won't disclose here because his address, or at least the address that's on his ID, is listed on here, so I won't show that. It looks like a nice house. But the houses are right next to each other. It looks like the whole neighborhood was bulldozed to build the subdivision. And, they have little trees that are held up by stakes. Like the whole neighborhood was just flattened. So it's very flat. It reminds me of like Texas, the ranch houses that are in Texas and probably Oklahoma. And they're built tough with bricks and not like the California stucco and chicken wire. We've never survived tornadoes here. We would just be sucked up like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. The little girl's dad called. Okay, we saw that. Or the sheriff's office in Bay County. Yeah, that's possible. I know that he was interviewed by is it Tontitown? I gotta find out how to pronounce that. Detectives. They're the ones who, somebody in Arkansas typed up the arrest warrant, apparently, but I haven't seen it yet. And I had a copy of the arrest warrant on Timothy Busfield, and I kept it for like months. And then I just got so sick of seeing that on my desk, and I don't even know that he's guilty for his most recent allegations, but I just was like, I gotta throw this away. And I'm sure that case is going to blow up again, and I'm going to wish I hadn't thrown it away, and I'm going to have to try to find those documents online again. But there are no documents online yet for Josh. Or not Josh, Joseph. Excuse me. All those J names. It's just a tragedy. And if he has admitted to it, at least he's... Does that make him more of a man than Josh? Josh always, to this day, denies it and blames all his trouble on other people. Or apparently this guy, when he was allegedly confronted, just caved immediately. It still doesn't make it any better what he did. But he'll probably fare better in the criminal justice system if he has admitted guilt. I think it was asked by the Bay County Sheriff's Department. Oh, the arrest warrant? We'll have to find all these things out. I hate to have to report on something like this, but this, like I said, I was shocked yesterday, and shock was probably not... I kept saying, I don't want to believe this, I'm in shock, but it was more or less that I didn't want to believe it. I mean, obviously something's going on because this guy, here's his mugshot, he's behind bars. But I just didn't want to believe it. And once again, I apologize if I'm not seeing all your messages. I'm going to eventually have to get a different setup now that YouTube is having all these issues. But hey, I don't want to bash them because, hopefully I'm going to, get my invite for the partial soon. And if I keep getting the views that I got yesterday, once it catches up 5 days later, maybe I'm just a matter of weeks away from being able to reapply. So this is another Duggar man that did bad things. Well, allegedly. We're talking about Joseph Duggar. You should watch my video from yesterday. And I sounded kind of down during that video because I was just so disgusted. I'm still disgusted. But I've had a day to let it set in. I don't like to see animals, children, or elders abused in any shape or form. And once again, I'll shout it from the mountaintop, doing what I do for a living, what I did for 35 years full time, and then extremely part-time since my illness. I do not condone criminal behavior in any way. Even in my own immediate family. It's unacceptable and it's unforgivable. Anybody who commits criminal behavior. I've risked my life. I've saved people's lives, all for the sake of justice. Kathy, in my humble opinion, I believe everything is true. The only discrepancy except for the number of children he has. Exactly. And now we're going to go with 4. Especially since Katie Joy retracted yesterday's statement from 6 to 4. Because she knows more about these Duggars than I do. And as I said yesterday, I follow the Duggar girls more than I follow the Duggar boys. Especially the one that actually lives out in LA here. And that would be Ginger. Ginger with a J. And her husband, Jeremy. Well, thank you everybody for coming in. I hope you've smacked that like button. I hope you've subscribed. And I'm just begging everybody here. I literally have to beg. I need everybody to binge watch all the videos, whether it's the lives, whether it's the long form content. You feel free to watch the shorts, but those views won't help me as far as the getting myself remonetized. They won't count for views. Unless somebody watches one like 10 million times. This is with over 5 videos I have watched. Yeah, I know. Everybody's got a discrepancy. Oh, good night, Jane Rice. I appreciate everybody coming in. I think I'm going to go make something to eat, which is it's gonna heat up the house or the apartment. We're under a extreme heat warning until Friday night. It's like September weather here. It's been misery. Thank you for your video today. I love lives. Thank you, Kathy. You're welcome. Thank you. Sorry, I was late. Just got home. I will go back and watch yesterday. Thank you all for being so nice. Yes. Thank you for the updates, April. Hugs from Sarah and I. Hugs back to you. Please give her my love. And I can't wait to watch your next video, Rob. And when you have time, update everybody on how you've decided to keep the house. And I'd love to know how that's going to be safely repaired. I don't want to see you, whenever I see you crawling underneath there, Rob, on a video, my heart just skips beats. And it does really skip beats, but my heart is heavy because I don't want there to be like an earthquake while you're under there and the thing just collapses. And like, please don't take a risk. No, Katie Joy was the only one, and she redacted it. Yes, she did redact it from 6 to 4. Next video is a short bush fix video on the new generator, so we could use it. You know, I saw the one where you got the new generator, and I was like, how do you know how to do all that and hook that up? You'd have to be really construction-wise and electronics-wise very smart to understand the solar power and the generators and how you do your plumbing and how you get your electricity and how you run your refrigerators in the summertime when you have no electricity. Like, that's just, I wouldn't be able to do that. So everything is adding up. 1 + 1 = 2. Yeah, I can't wait to see the next videos, Rob. Okay, everybody. Thanks for coming. Keep watching those videos and have a good evening.